Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Xgene and proteinX. In this tutorial video, I'm going to talk about how hemoglobin binds to oxygen, alveoli and its function, and finally how gas exchange occurs in alveoli. Let's begin. So as we know that red blood cell that produced inside the bone marrow, and red blood cell contain no nucleus. So instead of nucleus, it contains only hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin, it carry oxygen, and the structure of the hemoglobin is that it contains four subunit of polypeptide chain that is known as globin, and these subunits are alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2, and each subunit contain heme, that is the pigment, and because of this heme pigment blood looks red. And also each subunit contain iron, and that iron it bind with the oxygen. So each subunit contain the iron, and this iron it can bind with the oxygen. So the one hemoglobin it can bind four different oxygen molecules at the same time. So this is how the hemoglobin it carry oxygen. So next is that how hemoglobin it bind with the oxygen. So let's begin from the carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide in the plasma, by diffusion it get into the red blood cells, and in the red blood cells that carbon dioxide it form carbonic acid by the action of the carbonic anhydrase, and later on this carbonic acid it dissociate to form bicarbonate ion and also the H plus ion, and this bicarbonate ion by diffusion it get into the blood plasma. And as we know that this bicarbonate ion it helps to balance pH in the blood, so it plays important function to balance pH. And also the H plus ion also it plays very important role. So next is the hemoglobin, it forms oxyhemoglobin, so that is the HbO8, or also it is written Hb4O2. As I said before that one hemoglobin that can bind with the four oxygen molecules, this is why it has written Hb4O2 or HbO8. So this HbO8 later on it bind with the H plus ion. So that H plus ion it produced in by dissociate of the carbonic acid. So then the oxygen it released, and then it get into the blood plasma. So next is the alveoli. So here as you see in this figure that the trachea, so as you know that the respiration, the air it comes through the trachea and it's surrounded by cartilages, because the trachea contains some negative pressure created, and the cartilages just support the trachea to withstand. And the trachea it divided into primary bronchi and further subdivided into secondary bronchi, and the secondary bronchi also it surrounded by lots of alveoli. So these alveoli are just the air sac. The gas exchange occurs inside the alveoli. So if you have a look that how this alveoli it works. So if we magnify this alveoli, so as you see here that the deoxygenated blood from the heart it comes through the pulmonary artery, and through the alveoli the gas exchange occurs, and then oxygen replaces the carbon dioxide and it forms oxygenated blood, and that oxygenated blood it turns back to the heart through the pulmonary vein. That is here it's showing red, so that is the oxygenated blood. So next is the how this kind of blood circulation occurs. Let's have a look. So as you know that in the heart, from the body, from the lower part and the upper part, the blood comes to the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, and then the deoxygenated blood it leaves through pulmonary artery. So it leaves to the pulmonary artery, and then deoxygenated blood it goes to the lungs where gas exchange occurs. So here in the pulmonary artery, that is the higher concentration of the carbon dioxide, and then this carbon dioxide it replaced by the oxygen, and then it forms the oxygenated blood, and that oxygenated blood it turns back through the pulmonary vein, and then it goes to the heart through the pulmonary vein, and then the oxygenated blood that distributed in the body through the aorta. So this is how this blood circulation occurs in the heart, and the deoxygenated and oxygenated blood it goes or exchange through the alveoli. So next is the how gas exchange occurs. So mainly there are two different theory, that is the partial pressure and the diffusion. So mainly these two are very important that plays role in the gas exchange. So first you have to know that what is partial pressure. The partial pressure actually it is the pressure exerted by an individual gas in a mixture, and the diffusion that is the movement of the molecules from higher concentration to the lower concentration, right? So now have a look that what happens inside the alveoli. So in the alveoli, in the pulmonary artery, that is the deoxygenated blood in this capillary. So here the partial pressure of the carbon dioxide that is 45 mmHg, and whereas in the alveoli the partial pressure of the carbon dioxide is 40 mmHg. So as you see here, the diffusion occurs from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. So it's easily the carbon dioxide it flows through the capillary wall and it goes to the alveoli, whereas the partial pressure of the oxygen in the deoxygenated blood is 40 mmHg, and in the alveoli the partial pressure of the oxygen is 104 mmHg. So as you see here, the partial pressure here it's very high, right? So easily the oxygen flows through the capillary wall from the alveoli to the capillary, right? And then the oxygen it replaces the carbon dioxide and it forms oxygenated blood. And also in the venous capillary, here the partial pressure of the oxygen is 95 and the partial pressure of the carbon dioxide is 40. So this is how it occurs. So I hope this video will be helpful. If you like this video, kindly hit the like button, share it, and please subscribe my channel. If you have any queries, kindly write in the comment section. Thanks.